Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to Nadya's Identity Files, broadcasting live from Hollywood, good old Hollywood and Vine, and on the completely made over WCOBM.TV platform. It's another gray day here in Los Angeles. In fact, I think it's probably been cloudy for at least a week now. We might have had a couple of days of partly sunny skies, but for the most part, the Southern California identity that goes hand in hand with sunny skies and obviously no precipitation from the clouds it's becoming a thing of the past. Over the weekend or on Friday, it was like borderline monsoon type of weather. I had a meeting in Echo Park and I had to reschedule it. The 110 was flooded. Cars were wading through like they were boats. An image of the Glendale Galleria with water kind of cascading out of it like a waterfall. And then there was a sinkhole. I'm thinking, like, what's happening? I'm sure the religious zealots are getting really excited, like the apocalypse is going to happen. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? It's clearly global warming, but, you know, our fearless leader, DT, I think he would disagree. But in any event, I don't mind this weather because I'm from Maryland originally, so it kind of somewhat nostalgic, but at the same time, dealing with these conditions with the people on the road who don't quite understand the different methods of driving through the rain, i.e. just paying attention and not being a complete moron, are a bit much to deal with. So, all doom and gloom aside, today's episode is going to be super fantastic. I'm really excited. I have with me two innovators in new media and broadcasting who have both, in their own right, debunked stereotypes, achieved more than some in their entire lifetimes. And they're taking social media and the world by storm. Oh, and they just so happen to be women and Latina. And both of them have their own respective journeys that have so exciting and so unique and so inspirational. I can't wait to speak with them each about their individual stories. Elvira Guzman is an entertainment veteran. She's worked in the industry for over 16 years in multiple roles. She first started as an intern with Steve Harvey at The Steve Harvey Show, and she rose through the ranks to establish her own publicity firm, LVGPR. She's authored 2 books. One I have with me. I can't wait to discuss both of her books, and she's also been seen as a TV host on multiple occasions for multiple platforms. She is a media mogul in the making, completely through and through. Liza Morales, also my second guest, who has been working in the entertainment industry for a number of years. It seems like she's been working for more years than her age. Like, she looks super young, but she's been in broadcasting and new media since I think she was 10 years old. She was bitten by the Hollywood bug early. She landed her first talk show opportunity at just 10 years old. 10 years old. She demanded that she needed her own show, so she made it happen at that age. And since then, she's been on air for Access Hollywood, Telemundo, Extra, Univision, Celebrity Justice, and a host of others. She's garnered millions of followers on Periscope, and by and large is the quintessential social media influencer and maven. Her numerous followers have landed her the title of the second highest ranked Latin person on Periscope. I want to get into Periscope broadcasting, but I'm a little intimidated by it because of all of the crazy trolls. But so perhaps she can teach me a thing or two, and I clearly have a lot that I can learn from both of these phenomenal women, and I look forward to having them both on air shortly. But first, obviously, it's time for today's Identity News briefing. I would like to pay tribute first to a broadcast journalist and Fox senior business correspondent by the name of Brenda Butner, probably, I think it's Butner. She passed away yesterday after a battle with cancer. She was known for her work on the show Bulls and Bears, where she essentially infiltrated a very male-dominated space, and she was lauded for her economic prowess, her ability to really talk up economics in a way that women traditionally do not on air. So rest in peace, and positive energy and thoughts being sent to Butner's family and friends during this difficult time. Apparently our good old Donald, oh Lord have mercy, Donald Trump is stepping up. He's he's trying to at least, stepping up his game on condemning anti-Semitism. Last Tuesday, he acknowledged the upsurge in anti-Semitic acts. I'm sure that maybe one of his advisors poked him on the shoulder before he went live and said, don't forget the Jews. They're doing a lot for us. Go up there, say something. I have a J card, so I can go for it here. But so he said he's the least anti-Semitic person. He had to keep it on himself rather than kind of, focus more so on these destructive acts that we're seeing happening across the country. This was, he was on the National Mall acknowledging African American History Month, and that's when the conversation veered into discussing the anti-Semitism that we're seeing right now. He said, quote, "The anti-Semitic threats targeting our Jewish community and Jewish community centers are horrible and painful, and a very sad reminder of the work that must be done to root out hate and prejudice and evil." Aw, well, good sentiment. So I'd like to think that maybe he is becoming more of a leader, and I do appreciate the acknowledgement, even if it's not sincere, but I will recognize that this is a positive step to come out and make these statements. So I'll try not to be as snarky about DT as I typically am in this respect, but all the same, I am going to remain skeptical. As, he's clearly not the most charismatic figure to marginalized populations, and he's especially not the most charismatic leader to immigrants. Across the country, from North Carolina to Maryland to Kansas, obviously here in Los Angeles, hundreds of people have been arrested in just this past week alone. The Department of Homeland Security claims that these operations, the raids that we're seeing, and I am going to categorize these events as raids, and I'll tell you in a second why. They claim that they are no different than what has been going on for years. But the ways in which ICE, which stands obviously an acronym for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, are sweeping these areas such as Home Depot and areas where there appears to be a lot of immigrants and people working or trying to get jobs, day laborers and so on. They could best be described as raids. They appear to be racial profiling. There is not a lot of strategy behind the way these people are being approached. I fear that this is the beginning of something that could become much, much worse. Obviously these arrests have happened before, but the ways by which they are happening again seem akin to racial profiling, and I'm concerned about that. But the only way that we'll uncover the true motivations, I would think, are to just kind of wait it out, see how these events continue to unfold, and be mindful and be aware. On social media, I've seen a lot of my friends and friends of friends make posts warning people of where these operations are taking place. Obviously, especially here in Los Angeles, it's a very immigrant-dense population, but I can only hope that things will be moving forward in a positive trajectory. And keeping on a more positive note, this coming weekend is Oscar weekend. February marks the month of award shows. Best Picture nominees include Moonlight, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Manchester by the Sea, and a number of others. These are all movies I need to see, especially Hidden Figures. I really am fascinated by the narrative of mathematician and genius Katherine Johnson. I've seen trailers and as well as kind of some snippets of Hidden Figures that are super impressive and inspirational, and have inspired me to read more about Katherine Johnson, because I didn't know about her work and her achievements before this film. So, I mean, that in and of itself shows that there's a lot more work to be done. We still have a month left in February for Black History Month, so I encourage you all to kind of, do your due diligence and educate yourself on the important people who have made tremendous achievements throughout history and are doing so on a continued basis right now. When we come back, I will have with me Elvira Guzman, followed by Liza Morales, and then we'll have a roundtable discussion where we will all talk about our respective journeys and our collective journey in new media broadcasting. Stay tuned.